and that folks are hearing me. So yes, we can hear you. Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate that. So what I had planned to do today is go through some slides that talk about overall the events and programs that a lot of the Girl Scout councils use. There's a portion of this presentation where we're going to talk about sort of best practices to come up with a successful event. And then we're going to go through some screenshots about some of the things that the service can do. I know there's a mix of councils on the line, folks that use us, some folks that don't. And the majority of the folks on the line, use us for the doing the reservations for weekend camping. We're not really going to go into that. We're just going to focus on the events. And when we're done, we'll have some questions. And certainly, if folks want to learn more or want to do more, we can put you in touch with, the customers, put you in touch with our support staff that can go through and also even schedule some training if you'd like. So let's go ahead and get going. What everybody faces as challenges for putting on events is a number of different things. You want to create certainly great programs, for your girls and for your volunteers, but you want to also ensure that participation and therefore the revenue is as high as possible. And so we're going to talk about certain techniques and practices throughout the event life cycle that you can put to use. One quick slide before we get going here, and I'm not going to read all this. We'll send you the slides and, like I said, a copy of this webinar. But these are some of the quotes from some of the Girl Scout councils that are using our service for doing events. There's a lot of features. I wasn't going to go through necessarily right now feature by feature, but there are lots of components with Doubleknot. There's a lot of flexibility. We can handle a variety of different event types, from very simple signups for events, fundraising events. We can do camps. We can also do programs that have session selection, and the councils that are using us, have really enjoyed that feature because it allows the participants to be able to pick the sessions that they want and allow you to keep capacities and even wait lists about those session activities that are occurring while you're in the event. And so let's just sort of jump into sort of what we're calling the event life cycle. It starts like anything else with good planning, being able to understand what you learned from last year, to set out some measurable goals and know how you're going to collect that data, and also being able to determine what additional revenue items you want to be able to offer as folks are signing up. As there's a big opportunity when they're excited about the event to be able to offer some of those additional items. Planning also involves determining pricing. Our number one goal here is simplify pricing as much as possible. It's actually twice on this slide. But we really do think that that's important. There's certainly different price points that you can offer for different registrant levels and certainly sponsorship levels, but the simpler you make it, the better. From the planning, you move on to promotion. Promotion before the registration opens includes all sorts of sharing on social media, obviously on your website and calendar. A lot of folks do flyers and put all their programs together and send that out. Maybe some information nights or things that we've learned from best practices. And then, if there's incentives that you can offer for people signing up early or bringing X amount of participants, that's always good to get more people involved. And also, harness the power of FOMO, fear of missing out, really talking about what's unique about that event and the things that they wouldn't want to miss because this is a very unique event. During the event, certainly with social media, using hashtags, finding a photographer so you can post all of this afterwards, and then being able to publicize things about the event even afterwards, again, just really helps in bringing people on board and certainly getting them excited about subsequent events. The registration side, which is a lot of what we provide, we also can help with the promotions and the check-in and some of the other steps. But on the registration side, you want it to be very friendly and easy to do, easy to add to the calendar, and for people to share themselves. Being able to collect any information that you need up front is also important. Don't, again, make those forms simple. Don't ask too many questions. I know there's a lot of information that's great to gather, but just because you can gather it doesn't mean you should gather it. And so just, once you've determined what all those are, take a moment and sort of go through it again and say, should you really have to ask this many questions? How long is it going to take a troop with, X amount of participants to be able to sign up and sort of, solve for that? Also, payments, making payments easy online certainly, does reduce the amount of time you have to go and follow up. But certainly there are situations where people aren't going to pay everything all up front. So, if you can make it easy for them to pay a deposit and then subsequent payments over time, you can do that. Be sure it matches to the accounting side of the equation, what your accounting folks need. And then the day of, being able to make it simple to check people in and count their attendance, being able to send in advance reminders to people that have signed up, and telling them what to do and what to expect, posting signage at the event. When you're checking people in, you can have folks be able to look up rosters, certainly on paper and clipboards, but Doubleknot in particular has a way with our mobile point of sale, and we have a couple more slides about this, to allow you to have have staff with those mobile devices that can look into the database and can go and be able to check people in, record attendance, and all of those types of things that you would normally do on paper and then have to put into the system. You can do it all at once with that. Maybe there's a special VIPs or award winners that you want to indicate when you check people in. That could pop up as well. And then also during the event, if you do want to offer sort of on-site purchases or additional items that they can purchase, create a separate line for that. Not everybody wants to do it, and certainly once again with our sales station mobile POS, it's very easy to use that to collect those additional payments. Certainly at events where it's the donation is really, it's a fundraising event, certainly being able to have staff that can ask for those donations and take them, sort of replacing the pledge card with the actual donation on site, where you can swipe a credit card, you can text or email a receipt. And then following up, post-event communications is very important. Sending out, surveys or being able to take the attendee list and, and easily thank them for coming to the event. Being able then, if you do surveys, to look at those results, evaluate it, try to find if you've met some of those quantitative goals and certainly qualitative goals as well. What do people think? And, some more of the softer goals. But as much as you can, all of that, those data and metrics that you did at the top, be sure that you measure that with the follow-ups. And then, obviously it's a good time to start to jot down some notes and things as you go to the next event in the next year. So that was just a little bit about, overall event registration and sort of best practices that we've learned in working with all the companies, councils, and others that we do that put on events. I'm going to now sort of switch gears a little bit and talk more about some of the things that our service can provide, and I have some screenshots to show folks, and then certainly we can open it up to questions. And so specifically with the Doubleknot system, and again, this is available for all the folks on the line that have a subscription but are just using us for the reservations. The registration tool has the ability to do check-ins and payments, like we talked about. Tickets can be issued either for the group or per individual. You can have different receipts that come out, those that are printed. There can be information on it. We also can do what we call a personalized document, which if there needs to be a custom letter that accompanies that sign up, that can be done. It mail merges it on the fly, attaches it to the receipt, and they get it. With our service, you have a number of different ways to do pricing, both different levels and different discounts. The forms in our service, and I think folks are familiar with that, the ones that use us for the reservation side, forms can be set up both per individual as well as once for the group or the family. We have the programs with the sessions that we talked about. Billing reminders can come out if you are going to do payments over time, and especially for the camp programs, there's a lot of, it's usually a big cost, and you can spread that out. And then there's information that you can make as admin only that can only be put in by the back office. It's something that the participants wouldn't see. And then, as a lot of the folks know, there are integrated features with email marketing and communications, profiles for both the group and the individual, a full set of reports, and the report writer not only works on the event registration, but when I was talking about the follow-up surveys, the report writer does have a way for you to analyze those survey results. And again, being able to pull out, going back to the first part of the presentation, being able to pull back out that information, analyze it, know what you need to do better. And then finally, being able to offer it no matter what way folks interact. Our system has the ability not only online or when they call you, but certainly with the roaming point of sale. And so here's a couple of screenshots that I've taken from some of the councils that are using us for events. Here's a page that can show the event space available, and how many are on the wait list and how many spots are remaining, and a description. This descriptive area can even have graphics if you need to. But it's very easy to promote the event, being able to show information, and again, by showing these capacities, you take a little advantage of that fear of missing out. If it's filling up quickly, people tend to go ahead and book pretty quickly. There's landing pages that also can be set up to promote the event, and again, you have control as to what you put on here, and even if you want to do this page or not, that's an option. You don't necessarily need to show that. Some of the councils that use us, they have their own landing pages for the event, and when somebody clicks on register now, it goes to the first step. It doesn't need to hit this landing page. Others have these landing pages just because, once again, it's a good way to be able to allow people to share the information or get a map to the particular location of the event. When people go to log on, there's a number of different options. You can require that they have a login. You can allow them to create a new profile. It's not shown here. There's an anonymous way that people could sign up. But again, if there's certain events where not everybody's able to sign up, you can certainly protect those on an event-by-event basis so that only the people that are supposed to be signing up can sign up. And so let me put that back away. So now here's those profiles. You can create any additional fields. This shows a group profile. There can be individual profiles as well. You can have different participant types. And so again, this shows an adult, a Girl Scout, and a tag-along. You can create those with whatever labels. You can collect different participant information per participant type. So maybe for the, the adult, you need the phone number and the email. The girl in the tag along, maybe you need their age or their grade level, but not necessarily, the phone numbers and the email. Those can all be split out. Here's the information that can be added on the participants. This one's only showing a couple, but again, you can do your own as well. One of the changes we've done in the last about 6 months was the ability to do inline forms. So there can be form questions that you can have show up on some of these pages as needed. Here's the way that the system can store and then allow your leaders and others to and parents to retrieve existing participants. So they can click on the ad, someone I've signed up before, shows their troop list, they can just click, 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 and all the information gets populated. They're not having to re-enter it each time. That's the advantage to having a profile. Here's an example for the forms where you can have different information per participant type. You can have certainly health restrictions and allergies. You can have photo releases. You can ask if folks have registered or would like further information. And so once the registration is completed, it goes into the shopping cart. The nice thing with our service is that the leaders and the parents can register their troop members for multiple events. And do it all in one process. It's very easy to say keep shopping, add more things. Some of the councils that use us have a pop-up turned on where when somebody is about to go check out from this page, it'll say, hey, you might also be, it doesn't say hey, but it says you might also be interested in, and shows them other events that are like the ones in the cart. And as they put more and more events in, the system is smart enough to remember the prior information. If you do use the same forms to collect information, that can all be put in very easily without having to re-enter it. It gets to the payment page, different payment options. This one is showing that you do have to pay online, but there's choices just like there are in the reservations where you can say pay by mail, pay later. We support credit cards. We support gift cards through Vantiv. And then when they hit make payment, just like the regular reservations, folks get notified with an email, and then you internally can route an email to the person that's in charge of the event internally. So for each event, you can say who it goes to. Why do all this? Why go through the fact of setting all this up and doing registrations? Well, certainly it makes things easier, and that leads to increased booking and revenue. Makes things easier in the back office. I'm sure everybody's using a system. Might be one of the systems that you've had for a while. But certainly with our service and the newer technologies that we employ, there's a lot of savings that can occur. And the Girl Scouts in Eastern Iowa and Western Illinois, as you probably know, since we've sent out emails, did a time savings and found a pretty significant savings in time. A lot of it was really by making things more self-serviceable, where there was less questions, people could do their own things. Specifically with the event registration, changes can be made online. For the reservations, they do have to call you, but for the event registrations, changes can be made by the registration owner up until a particular date that you say, okay, now all the changes are cut off. And then obviously making it easier improves the experience and leads to happier participants. Once again, available everywhere, works on a cell phone. All of our pages are branded. You can get tickets. Those can be used as entrances to the event. Can be done on the computer, can be done in the back office, anywhere. Here's the sales station, runs on an iPad and an iPhone. You can do walk-up sales, and also this is the way that you check folks in as they need to show up, and if they need to make changes, you can make updates to that existing order. You can accept a balance due, swipe the credit card, and as I was saying earlier, text or email a receipt. That's the sort of the overview that we were going to go into today. Here's, the councils that use us, and appreciate everybody that's on the line that is a customer. I know I looked at the list that there are a lot of folks there that have been using us for reservations, and we hope that you'll come over and use us for the registrations and the events. It's very easy to get going. You can give me a call, or you can certainly give the help desk a call. Ask them about getting started. If you need training, there is a professional services charge to get the training on that part of the service. But after that, you can use your existing subscription tomorrow and start setting up your programs for the fall. Okay, I was going to pop open the questions and just sort of go through them. Let me just see if I can get this to pop open. Let's see, questions. Here we go. Here's the questions. Okay, so let's see. Everybody can hear me. So go ahead and enter the questions in, that you might have. How many characters in the description section? You can put as many as you want. It can collect HTML. It's an HTML available page, so not only text, but you can put graphics, you can put links. There really is no limit to the amount of information that you can put on that landing page in the description section. Do you set up for availability and wait lists to show up? I do availability, but not sure how to do wait lists. So yes, wait lists is a parameter. When you're in the event, you'll see next to the participant, or if you don't have multiple participant types, it's part of the main screen where you can put a wait list size. And if you put a wait list size, then the wait list will show up on those display pages automatically. And so those should pop up. If you have any questions, Mary Ellen, you can certainly give a call into the support staff. Negotiations in progress about connecting Doubleknot to Salesforce. Yes, I would say they're in progress. We've had conversations with the national office. Don't have anything to report right at this moment, but we've had the preliminary discussions, had a meeting in New York, and they're aware of of what we do and the feedback that we've gotten from all of our clients. We've passed it along to them, and certainly being able to connect that in is going to benefit everybody. And we're hoping to have further conversations this fall. I'm pretty sure the national office has been busy with a lot of other things, so I don't have anything new to report other than yes, they're sort of ongoing. Let's see. Will you be having an update that allows us to enforce capacities? So we do have capacity limits. I guess I'm not 100% sure of the question. On the forms. We have an update to allow enforced capacity on the forms. I'll have to get back to you. I don't know of one, so I'm going to say no for now. But if you've submitted it through the help desk, I'm sure it's on our list. The capacity limit, obviously can be enforced, probably as at the overall level. Having capacity on forms would be great. Yeah. So I can pass, I'm certainly going to pass along all the feedback from today, over to the support and to the development folks. So yeah, I will certainly let them know about that. Are there other questions? So I'm going to hang on another minute or two, but is anyone using this for summer camp? Yes. This past summer, the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio, the Girl Scouts of Northern California use us for camps. Yes, I do believe you need to talk to Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio. I think they do have a solution for bus routes, but Judy, I'm not gonna have a I don't want to put words in their mouth, but if you want to give them a call, you can do that. Oh, Angie said they have a really good experience with it. Ohio had a really good experience. Thank you, Angie. If enough of us need it, will you develop it? I Yes, it's not up to me, so I can't make promises, but certainly if the support staff gets flooded with this request, we will definitely it definitely makes it go higher up on the priorities. Yes, Denise, it was recorded, and so after it's rendered and popped up, after it's rendered, I'll pop it up on YouTube and send out a link. I have a list of everybody that participated, so I can send that link out. All right, let's see, other questions? As the summer's winding down and you're looking to the fall, we really are geared up we're really geared up to have a lot of folks start using us. So the rest of the team here knows we're putting on the webinar. I send them the list. We had about 40 people sign up. I'm going to send it to the folks that didn't make it, but we are anticipating a lot more folks starting to use this. Thank you, Judy. Thank you for clapping, for text clapping. Maybe we need to figure out how to develop an app for clapping, but I appreciate that, Judy. Thank you. Okay, if there isn't anything else, I appreciate everybody's time today, and give us a call. We love to chat with you. So thanks so much, and everybody go and have a great Thursday and a good weekend. Bye now.